Okay, question for you at home and those of you in the studio audience this morning. Would you ever put a bag of sugar, salt, and grease in the fuel tank of your car? You're like, no. Okay, well, if food is fuel for our bodies, why do so many of us fill our tanks with the wrong things? The result is heart disease, diabetes, high blood pressure, and cholesterol, which can all be deadly. Here to tell us how to eat to live and add quality years to our life, please welcome back cardiologist Dr. Coda J. Reddy from Reddy Cardiac Wellness. Also joining us is John Dingle, one of his patients. All right, so we see some kids in the audience eating some pizza there. All right, so what you do now will impact whether your heart will live a long time. Okay, so John, you were at Dr. Terry Alani's office, and she took your blood pressure, and she said, wow, you need to go to a cardiologist. She referred you to Dr. Reddy. What did she find?
Well, yeah, that's correct. I mean, a small world, but yeah, my blood pressure was way out of line, and so Dr. Alani said, "Look, you have to get this addressed." And so
and you were kind of surprised because you're a runner and a whole bit, but you weren't eating well.
I worked out 5 days a week, did a lot of running, you know, weightlifting, things like that. I thought I was doing all the right things, and yet my blood pressure was real high.
Yeah.
And so I knew I had to get it addressed, and Dr. Alani, the key was, you know, when she was cleaning my teeth, you know, my gums were bleeding excessively, and she knew I flossed and did all the right things. So,
but yeah, Dr. Reddy, here's the key here. It's like exercise is an important role, but diet is even more important.
As I say, diet, and then comes exercise. So when he first came to the office, his blood pressure was like 210 systolic. It was very high. So at that point, we started him on medications, but following that, what he did was he went on the strict diet, eliminated salt, lost almost 40 pounds, dropped 4 sizes in his pant size, and his blood pressure today morning is 110/70 without medication.
You also want to make the point that you don't just send people home with medication, you know, for the rest of your life and that's it. You want medication to be temporary, and it's really food that's going to be your best medicine.
That is correct. And he also had sleep apnea before he started, and now he does not even use a machine because his sleep apnea symptoms have gone away.
Okay, let's talk about some of the culprits in food, and one of them is that we underestimate is salt. Sometimes we really taste the salt, other times we don't know it's there, how much we're consuming in a day.
That is correct. So let's go back to the first principle. What is hypertension? Hypertension means your blood pressure is high. Anytime your blood pressure is more than 140 or 90, you have high blood pressure. What is ideal blood pressure? 110/70. What is acceptable normal blood pressure? 120 or 80. Anytime you're 130, 90, you're still okay, but 140 or 90 is high. Now what happens? What are the simple causes of high blood pressure? If you look here, diabetes, metabolic syndrome, sleep apnea, obesity, alcohol, salt intake. These are the common culprits. 95% of people who have high blood pressure have what we call as primary hypertension or essential hypertension, and the culprits are these. So now let's look at this. Now the kids here have eaten pizza. What's pizza? Starch, bad fat, and salt. Let's say what happens when the salt hits the stomach. Now what happens? The stomach is hungry for water, osmosis. Wherever there's increased salt, water gets in. Since you're not drinking water, you're busy eating, you're not getting salt into the stomach. Where does the water come? Where does the water come in? It comes from the blood. Once it comes into the stomach, now your stomach swells up. In the meantime, your blood volume drops, your kidneys go into a shutdown mode, and you now start becoming thirsty and you start drinking water. But you can't drink much. Why? Because you have a lot of water and salt in your stomach. But you continue to drink water for the next 4 to 8 hours, and you're still not passing urine. Next day, you check your weight, it's gone up by 6 to 8 pounds. And you wonder, why did I gain so much? Are you gaining fat? No, it's all water and salt. But if you were to change that and drink a lot of water before eating the salty stuff, you neutralize the salt, you're not putting the kidney in the shutdown mode. So what happens? Now you have normal blood pressure. Let's say John here had high blood pressure. You eat the pizza, he eats the pizza. Your blood pressure goes up by 4 points, and you gain 4 to 6 points, and you gain about 6 pounds. His blood pressure, on the contrary, from 130 jumps to 200, 60 points. Or 210, but 60 points, even though he ate the same pizza. You see the difference?
Yeah.
So the point is, if you have to eat something salty, try to drink a lot of water before, during, and immediately after, so that you flush it out.
Yeah, because otherwise you're putting your body in overdrive. You're making your body work way harder than it needs to. Okay, so salt, we need to watch. The other thing, and we hear this all the time, sugar.
Correct. Sugar. All the kids here, they're drinking a lot of salt drinks. What do the salt drinks have? Fructose. It's been clearly shown now that when you consume a lot of fructose, it destroys the liver, causes fatty liver, puts you at high risk for heart disease, and it gives you the same damage which alcohol does, but without giving you the high. On the contrary, fructose also makes your uric acid level goes up. When a uric acid level goes up, it starts to damage your kidney. At this young age, once you damage the kidney irreversibly, what happens is your blood pressure goes up for the rest of your life and you're very salt dependent.
And when it's that high, it's damaging the body all the time.
All the time.
Chipping away at the body.
So be very careful. Fructose is very bad, especially when the kids drink a lot of juices. That puts them at risk. Now, second thing, sugar and starch. Both of them, starch gets converted to sugar. When your sugar and starch are consumed, your blood sugar goes up, your insulin goes up. Insulin acts in the kidney and decreases the excretion of salt. In turn, what are you doing? You're retaining more water, more fluid, and your blood pressure goes up. Same thing. When you have sleep apnea, the same thing happens. You're choking at night, your blood pressure goes up. In the morning, your blood pressure is very high. When you combine all these things, salt, sugar, starch, sleep apnea, you have uncontrolled high blood pressure. Which
is the reason why we're saying that you can avoid that. 80% of heart disease you can avoid by eating correctly. Okay, you just told us what we couldn't eat. What's left? What can we eat? What should we focus on?
Then you need to go on Ready Diet. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no, but you do have a Ready Bread, which is one of those things that you...
In fact, John did the same thing. He went on the Ready Bread, and went on the Ready Diet and lost 40 pounds. And what you see is...
which helps to reduce your craving for starch and sugars and things like that.
That's right. I think one of the things Dr. Reddy told me that really registered, he said, you got to think of yourself as a hunter. What would a hunter eat? You know, meats, vegetables. And, you know, it was for me, it was just cutting out the sugar and being mindful of that.
Yeah. And that innate thing in us that when you hunted, you didn't know when you were going to get your next kill, so you better eat something that counts for your body. And we've gotten away from that, of getting to the basic things our body was made to eat. All right, for more information on nutrition and keeping your heart healthy, call Reddy Cardiac Wellness at 281-491-0044, 281-491-0044, or visit them on the web at reddycardiology.com. And if you want more information about Reddy Bread, you can log on to reddybread.com. And what's really interesting about this is that you can actually see, as I mentioned earlier, where your heart is. So you can almost put a timeline on it. If someone's about to have a heart attack in the next few years or whatever, but you can reverse that, is the point that you want to make clear to people if you just know what's going on inside your body. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have you ever made a decision you later wished you could change? Still ahead, a woman who thought she was done having kids, so she had, you know, the surgery. But what happened when she later decided she'd like another bun in the oven? We'll tell you.